Hello and welcome to Knitscents episode 3. I'd like to welcome back any returning viewers and a special hello and welcome to any new viewers we may have. This week's episode we're going to have some housekeeping, including some of my own housekeeping, some Scentsy, some knitting, no spinning this week. I have a little bit of stash enhancement, not much, because Rhinebeck is coming. We will pick a contest winner from last week's contest, and I will have a new contest for this week, and I think that's it. So for housekeeping, all of my information can be found if you click the description bar below. If you click on where it says more, everything will pop up, including links that I include from the show notes and all of the information where you can find me. I am Jan Ellen RN on Ravelry and on Instagram. You can find my blog at knitscents.com, where you can also find the episodes now. I did figure out how to get them on there. I have a Facebook page, which is Knitscents Facebook. I'll link it below. And I think that covers everything, but again, just check below and you can find all of my information there. How about those graphics? Yeah, I got them to work. I did. I would say I'm going to do it again, but I can't promise because I'm not exactly sure how I did it last time. But we'll try. We'll try to put it underneath again. My next goal, if I can master the text graphics, is to figure out how to put pictures in, so I can say here's a picture and it'll mysteriously pop up. But who knows? I mean, we're trying. Last time I wiped out the whole thing and had to re-record it, so we're definitely climbing up that learning curve. What else? I think that covers the administrative part of housekeeping. I would like to wish everyone who is celebrating a very happy and healthy new year. I hope everybody had a good week. I know mine started off with a bang when my 5th Keurig coffee pot went to Keurig Heaven to live with its siblings, which left me with no coffee pot. And that is sort of like a fish having no water. It's not Swiss and it ain't Gouda. So I spent the time on a quest for a new coffee pot that preferably wasn't another Keurig, but the good news is that I found one. I am here with my coffee, so that's good. But the other sour note that we started this on is when I bought this house 16 years ago, my husband is a New York City born and bred person, and I came from Nassau County, and we had no idea what a septic system was. So when we bought this house, we were sitting at the closing table after we had bought the house, and the woman who previously owned it is going on and on about a pool, and I was thinking swimming, only she was talking cess, and I didn't know any better until we had our very first flood. And all of the neighbors are saying, oh, it's your septic system, you know, you got to get it pumped and this and that. And we're like, what? What is that? I don't have that. And they're like, yeah, you do. There's no sewers in this town. You have to have that. Well, to make a very long and sad story short, tomorrow they will be breaking up my blacktop, pulling out my Belgian block, and digging a gaping hole in my yard to replace our septic system. So that is the fun that I have to look forward to, because we will have to live with the broken up blacktop and all of this and that, and until the ground settles. It's way more than you wanted to know. It is way more than I wanted to know, but it's just, that's where I'm at these days. So I'm lucky to be recording. I'm happy to be recording today because I don't think I could stand the noise tomorrow. Other than that, I think that about covers this week's drama, and we can move on. So, Scentsy-wise, I would like to remind everybody that it is the middle of September and the September warmer of the month will be going up in price on the 30th. So I'd like to just show you the warmer of the month and talk a little bit about the scent of the month so that if it is something that you're interested in, you can get it during the month of September. The warmer of the month this month is called Lumina, and it is a beautiful, oh gosh, I'm going to pull this whole kludgy thing over, cream colored pumpkin. And think in terms of Cinderella's pumpkin, because that's what this reminds me of, as opposed to like an orange pumpkin, like a jack-o'-lantern type pumpkin. This one is more of an elegant, more subtle pumpkin. It is cream colored with, I don't know how you would explain it, because it's not really distressed, but it has some gentle taupey colors throughout where it's solid, and then it has the embossed here, which is sort of in a taupey gold color. I don't know if I hold it up, if you can see that any better. But it's a beautiful pumpkin warmer. Again, it has the dish that goes inside, and the top of it, if you can see, the stem is a very polished, like almost a gunmetal color stem. So you can get a good look at it. And for those of you who like to decorate for fall, for Halloween, but don't really want something that just screams Halloween, that want something a little more subtle, a little more elegant, this is definitely a great way to go. And for some reason, it's not going on. I probably didn't plug in the extension cord, which I hear thumping. So hold on one second, because I'm not going to cut this off. Okay. That is something that falls into the realm of this could only happen to me. Like, you go, here what it looks like, and you turn it on and absolutely nothing happens because you didn't plug in the cord. It's plugged in now. Here is what it looks like when you turn it on. So you can see it almost has a glow from inside. Very subtle though, very, very subtle. It's not like it lights up or anything, but you can see the light through the cutouts here. And it really, really is just a beautiful fall decoration that will go with almost any decor, which is why I love it, because I love to decorate for the seasons, but I don't like something that I can only keep up for a really short period of time. I like something that can carry me through almost the whole season, and this will absolutely do it for you. So if you're interested, again, this is the warmer of the month for September, and along with that is the scent of the month, which is coconut pumpkin pie. And if you like bakery scents, if you love coconut or pumpkin, this is absolutely something you're going to want to have. You can absolutely smell the pumpkin when you smell it, but you also get that touch of coconut with it. And I've been burning this actually since the beginning of September, and I have really, really been enjoying the scent. And I'm not really even one for bakery scents. I don't really like the spiced scents, but I actually am really enjoying this one. So again, this is the scent of the month, coconut pumpkin pie. And this and the warmer, the room sprays, anything that comes in the coconut pumpkin pie and the scent of the month is 10% off for the month of September. So if you are interested, I will link my website below. Hopefully I will link my website right here, and you can go there and you will see when you click on shop that it will come up all the way over to the left. It will say scent of the month, warmer of the month, and if you click on that you can get more information. That's it with Scentsy News. So now we are on to the knitting. I have been working on what I had shown last week, which is the Painted Desert. And can you believe I pulled it all up. I can't win. And I just erased it. So let's see. Here we go. It is a pattern by Carol Sunday. This is what it looks like. Okay. It is a true poncho, so you pull it over your head and it has fringe on it. And here is what I've done so far. The one that I'm knitting, it calls for sport weight yarn, and there are two versions of it that are in the pattern that she explains very, very well. The original, the one that I showed, and the one I'm working on has 14 colors. She does have a separate set of charts. If you would like to do it in 4 colors, you can do it in 4 colors as well. But I did get the kit from Carol's website, which I'll link below, and it's a combination of Sunday Knits yarns. It uses, let me just check here, I know it uses Eden, which is one of her yarns. That one is 100% merino. It uses Nirvana, which is, I think, 92% merino and 8% cashmere. And it uses Angelic, which is 75% merino and 25% Angora. And each of the 14 colors comes, it's mixed up which ones are in which base that she uses. But here's what I have so far. So I was down still working on the striping last week when I recorded, and I finished the first set of stripes and that little bit of color work. Now I'm doing the large size. The pattern comes in 2 sizes. One is small and one is large. And the reason I chose the large, I'm not sure it really makes much difference size-wise, although I think you do get more width from the large size, but I saw with a small hit, and that is more, to me, was more of a decorative piece rather than if you really wanted to wear it in terms, instead of, say, wearing a heavy sweater or a jacket. I think the longer poncho is more of a garment that you would wear outside for warmth instead of a jacket. So to me that just seemed more practical, and they're both beautiful. I think it's the difference from what I could tell. You start the pattern here instead of, in other words, instead of this being here, this would come down to here. So it's about that much difference in length between the large and the small. But at any rate, the first pattern was super simple to do, this one, because you change the colors every 2 rows. So you work it across, come back, knit from the ball, and work it back. The stars, that was a little bit more challenging because the color changes were not necessarily every 2 rows. Like you can see in here, there was only 1 row of this curry color, I think it's called. So there will be some ends, not many, to weave in on the other side that doesn't turn into the fringe. But again, considering all the colors that are in here, very, very few ends to weave in. It is a really, really enjoyable knit. It's so fun. The pattern is written so well, and I have to show the back because I'm really pleased. Let me hold it still and see if I can get it to focus on that. I wanted to use, and I will try to link it next time. I didn't pull it up. Apparently there is a way to do floats, or to carry yarn, I should say, without doing floats. I don't even remember what they called it, but I was afraid to take on another challenge with the challenge of this pattern. So what I've been doing to keep my floats not very long at all is to catch them almost every 2 to 3 stitches. And given that it's really not that long of a piece and it's worked flat back and forth, I don't really find that to be too much of a problem. So that's what I've been doing. I have been working on this and really, really enjoying that knit. I have this in, this is a tote from Land's End that a very dear friend gave me with my name on it. And I absolutely, this is such a great knitting tote. So if you like this, hop over to Land's End and check out their totes over there, because I absolutely love that tote. And the other thing I did start is the Circo Cowl, which is part of the MClub from Laura Nelkin from 2015. It is the last pattern in the club. I did put a link in last week's show. I believe there are still openings on for the MClub for 2016. So if you are interested, hop on over to Laura's website, and you can check out. It again is such a worthwhile club, not just for the fabulous kits and just amazing patterns that Laura does, but it's the support and the teaching that she does that really makes it such a great value. She gives so much support. Her tutorials are really awesome, and you learn a lot, and that's really one of the best parts of joining that club, is that you just stretch yourself and you learn always something new. So without further ado, if you are a member of the MClub and you are doing this knit along, spoiler alert. So if you don't want to see what Clue 1, if you haven't started it yet and you don't want to see what it looks like, step away for a moment. We will do the jazz hands when I'm all done. So, are you gone? Can I show it now? Okay. It is hiding in my Binkwaffle bag, which, if you've never heard of, these are the cutest bags. It's literally like a dumpling, and they are all reversible. All her bags are reversible. They come in this large size, which holds a lot, and they come in a smaller size. This is the inside of mine. The only problem with these bags is they are impossible to find. They sell out as soon as they get in. But I will link her website below, because the last I heard, she was going to sell them online. I know I had been stalking it for some time. I didn't see them yet online for sale, but I will link it below, and I know there are links to stores that do carry them. So if you can't get it online, perhaps you are near a store, can contact a store, because these bags are really, I mean, just great. And you can pull the yarn out from here. You could pull it through the little grommet here, but I don't want to have to do that, because I don't want to have to risk cutting it if I have to take it out of the bag. So what I like is that you close the bag and you can pull it out of here. But enough yapping about the bag. I know I've been blathering on about the bag. Let's go to the knitting. Okay, so I think I just completely pulled it off the needles, and I hope I didn't, because that's going to not be like really good at all. I did. I pulled it off the needles. So I'm not even going to attempt to stick it back on right now. I will deal with that later. But what we're knitting right now is a strip of reversible cables. Okay, let's see if that will focus. There we go. So you can see it cables on both sides. And what I'm thinking, because we're working this right now, well, those of us that didn't pull the needles out are working it on double point needles. As you can see, I have two sitting here. So when I'm done with this, what will I be doing? I will be trying to get this back on the needles. But what I'm thinking, because the pattern does call for 40-inch circular needles, and we've been slipping the stitch on the edge. So what I am thinking is, when this is done, and I think it's 10 repeats of the pattern. I don't know if it was 10 or 20, but it was, you make a long, essentially making a long strip with this reversible cable. And I'm thinking, and I could be wrong, but Laura, hint, hint, that we're going to be picking up the stitches on the edge onto one long needle. and then perhaps either working in the round or working back and forth. This is a provisional cast on. Well, right now mine's provisional on both ends, which I'm not sure that was the way it was intended, but we'll fix that. But my feeling is I think we're going to end up picking up the stitches and knitting flat again, and then perhaps joining it in the round at the end. The other thing I'm thinking, the beads that we're using are size 8 beads, and this is fingering weight yarn, so I'm thinking it's likely that we are going to pre-string beads at some point, cut the yarn and pre-string beads instead of placing the beads, because I don't know that you could really place size 8 beads with a crochet hook with fingering weight yarn. Again, this is the yarn. It is Knit Circus Greatest of Ease base in the Moody Blues colorway, and it's just a very, to me it looks like a 2-color gradient, unless I'm going to find something on the inside that maybe the color changes, which I can't see. But I think this is just a very, very long, well, actually, yeah, I guess you could see in there. It's a very, very long gradient is what this is. So that is the other thing that I have been working on, the mystery. And here, we're all done. Put away, it's safe back in its home. Unless I drop it on the floor or something else. I mean, this is like the blooper reel here. What else? What else can I do? Let's see. We can have some coffee. Maybe we can spill that on ourselves. I have to tell you, my son says that I had the camera too low. So I attempted to lift it up. And what I have it on right now is a flipped over Corningware baking dish. This is a very high-tech, sophisticated podcast here. And it's like sliding, needless to say. So one tap and this whole thing is going to go flying off its hinges. And between the warmer not turning on and my needles, my stitches coming off the needles, I'm just sitting here waiting for the other shoe to drop. But I am going to move on fearlessly. I have no spinning. I do have a little bit of stash enhancement. I am trying to keep in mind that Rhinebeck is just about a little over a month away. So I'm trying to keep that in mind every time I see something online or feel the urge to shop. But I will be going to Rhinebeck, so I hope if any of you are at Rhinebeck and you see me, you will stop and say hello. Come over, say hi, introduce yourself. I'm just going to put it out there that I'm going to ask anybody that is viewing that does see me at Rhinebeck to please don't let me go into the fleece barn. I'm putting it out there. I just cannot come home with another fleece. I took a look yesterday. I was trying to make some room and I saw the extent of what I'm sitting with fleece-wise. So I'm begging, if you see me there, say hi, come introduce yourself, and then remind me not to go into the fleece barn. So on with the stash enhancement, I went into my local yarn store yesterday, I think, or the day before, and I picked up a skein. I saw this and I absolutely had to have it. This is a skein of, I'm going to say this wrong, I know I'm going to botch the name, but it's Biscott & C. It's the company that made the yarn for the Stitch Surfer socks, and maybe someday I will actually reveal my sorry Stitch Surfer story. But this time I found it in a full skein. This is the colorway for him, only these are going to be for her colorway. And this is a self-striping, but it's instead of like the Stitch Surfers, which only had like a half a skein of each, so you couldn't really make a whole skein, a whole pair of socks unless you did the Stitch Surfers. This is a full skein. It's 384 yards. So that's what I got, and this I got from, again, my local yarn store, which for me is the Village Knitter in Babylon here on Long Island. And if you are ever on Long Island, if you are ever in the tri-state area and looking for a yarn store, I can't recommend it highly enough. It reminds me, whenever I go there, it always reminds me of the TV show Cheers. and I won't sing it, but where everybody knows your name, because that's how it feels when you go into that store. And I've been in a lot of yarn stores, and you know, some are nicer than others, some of the people are nicer than others, but here it's just excuse me, literally everybody knows your name. And even if they don't know you, you just feel welcome when you come in, and they have such a fabulous variety of yarns and patterns and friendly people. So if you are ever on Long Island, if you are ever in the tri-state metropolitan area, it is so worth a trip to take a trip to the Village Knitter, which is again in Babylon. And if you are on the island this week, I don't know what is with this hot, but it feels like Florida here. It has been in the 90s. It is September. So if any of you are living in a cooler climate area, would you please blow some cool air my way? I just am over the heat. I'm over the summer. I don't really care for summer. I love the cold weather. So I'm really looking forward to just a blast of cold air. So if you live in a cool or a chilly climate, could you please just send some of that my way? I would be very, very grateful. And now on to our contest. Last week, I put up a contest for these two skeins of Claudia hand paint in the Magic Elixir colorway, and we had 4 entries this week. The 5th one was my first post. So we had 4 entries, numbers 1 through 5. So here is our random number generator, and I will hit generate, and the winner is number 5. So I will pull that up on my iPad, and it is Sands PMS, SANDS PMS. And the question was, what is your favorite thing about fall? And her favorite thing about fall is the smell of fires burning, which I love too, the cool temperatures, me too, wearing and knitting sweaters, and pumpkin spice lattes, which is all of my favorite things about fall. So if you send me a PM with your mailing address, I will get these 2 skeins on their way to you. And this week we have another contest, and it is for this skein. Okay, I guess we just have a visitor right now. My cat just jumped up into his favorite spot. Hey, yeah, well, it's not showing his best side. Okay, this week's contest is for this skein of Socks That Rock. It is is this medium weight? Socks That Rock in the medium weight in the Raspberry Mousse colorway. And I'm going to make it a little easier on myself here. It is 380 yards, and I think the medium weight is more of a sport weight than a fingering. It definitely looks more like a sport weight to me, but at any rate, it is 100% superwash merino, 380 yards in the Raspberry Mousse colorway. So that is this week's contest. And let's see what here's a prompt, and I guess I should have thought of one before, but I have one. This fall season and spring season are usually big festival seasons. So what I'm going to ask you to do is tell me, what is your favorite festival? It doesn't have to be a fall festival. It doesn't have to be a yarn and fiber festival. I just love festivals in the fall. I think it's a great time of year to be outside. I think it's a fun activity to do with the family. So let me know, tell us what your favorite festival is, and I will leave that open until I record next, which hopefully will be next week. Hopefully I will have running water by then. I will not have any more flooding by then. And at least the dirt will be back in the hole. I doubt my blacktop and all of the rest will probably have a gaping hole there for who knows how long. But we'll see. I will try to put up some pictures, like I said again, if I can figure out how to insert them. The other thing I did want to mention, and I forgot to mention it earlier when I was talking about Scentsy, is I had a preview of the October scent and warmer of the month. And I do have mine on the way. It is not here yet, but it should be here before I record next week. And if it comes before, I will probably put up or try to put up an unboxing video so that you can see exactly what comes when you are a consultant, what you get in the scent or warmer of the month kit, and give you a preview of what the scent of the month will be and what the warmer of the month is. But I will give a hint and say that if you are a sports fan, if you love a sports fan, if you know a sports fan, if you need to purchase holiday gifts for a sports fan, you want to keep an eye open for that video, or keep an eye open next week. Hopefully I'll have it by then and put it, preview it on the podcast. This is definitely something that's absolutely calling all sports fans. So hopefully you will have a good week. I wish everyone a happy and a healthy new year that is celebrating. Again, enjoy your week, and as always, knit with sense.